pistol, Pete. I'm just really getting into that. I kind of like it. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Harry, would you like to come up and say a few words, please? Oh, you need to come up, Pete. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, readjusting? You're right. Okay.
Thanks, Jack. Hey, darling. Okay, hi. Oh.
2-minute bell.
Dad took all my time.
Hi, Jack. We're actually running 15 minutes over.
Oh,
No pressure.
sorry. Okay. Thank you to all of our friends and family. Some of you have come so far. Internationally.
Woo! You!
And health. Across the country, up the country, and across the ditch. You are our absolute nearest and dearest, and we love you all. Thank you for coming, for helping, and those of you know who you are, and for making our day so special. To my girls, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Between you, we have 55 years of friendship. And I couldn't have imagined marrying Pete today without you all by my side. Nick, I could never thank you enough for travelling halfway across the world to be with me today. Yes, I did it for you, but I didn't do it with a 6-month-old. Mills. You have been so supportive and helpful in this final lead up to today, and thank you for bringing your A game and your creativity. Mish, thank you for the endless advice and debriefs, and for putting up with me constantly asking, have I forgotten something? Is there something I've forgotten? Are you sure that's everything? I had a massive dream. A vision that was all in my head, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me make it a reality today. It is absolutely magical. To Francine, Monique, Michael and Shay, I cannot thank you for helping me create the most amazing day, and I pulled you all in last minute. I think that the phrase of the weekend for every question that you ask me is definitely, I don't mind, just make it happen. To Linda and David, thank you for welcoming me into your family with such warmth and sincerity. I feel as though I've been part of the furniture for forever, and you've embraced me with such love. I'm so excited to have such wonderful parents-in-law. To my mum and dad, thank you for being the amazing parents that you are. Your love and support for Pete and I has been endless. And I'm sorry, Dad, that for nearly 18 months, every conversation we had the word wedding in it. With 34 years of marriage, you guys are an inspiration to us, and we strive to build a strong foundation, as you have, to raise a family and live a long and happy life together. My darling Pete.
Pistol!
Yeah, good. My hubby. I've been saying that for a while now, and usually I'm brought pretty quickly back to earth by the phrase, not yet. We are finally here. And oh my, I don't even have words. That's a rarity for me. You came into my life at a time when I least expected it. I had a lot going on with travelling to New Zealand for ski seasons. and I honestly had no real interest in dating. But for some reason, when your intoxicated friend muttered the words, "Peter Harry is so in love with you," my ears pricked and my stomach flipped. Who is this Peter Harry? I thought. And well, we haven't looked back, babe. I don't even really remember dating you. We just always seemed to be. I remember a long time ago saying to my girls, "You know what? No more toads. I just want a man who is loyal and treats me like a princess." And babe, you do all of that and so much more. I've never, ever, ever questioned your feelings for me. You are so caring and honest and loving. You are my absolute bestest friend, and you have such love and respect for me. Yet, you challenge me, you bring me back to earth when it's needed most. We laugh constantly. Boy, do we laugh. Always. I think if the last 4 years are anything to go by, we have so many more adventures ahead of us, and I can't wait to grow old with you.
No pistol.
Hello. Just bear with me a sec.
Is it on your notepad?
Yeah. I'll just like to say that to follow the last two speeches is going to be pretty hard. So I'm just going to be blunt, going to be honest. It's going to be relatively short, to the point. May not be as long. Thanks, mate.
Get on with it!
To start off, obviously today there's a lot of thank yous, and all speeches have covered numerous people. So I'm sorry if I repeat. I'm sorry if we miss anyone. But firstly, I'd like to extend massive thank yous to all the people who have travelled here today, and there are quite a lot. I think we were pretty impressed with the list of countries we
covered a lot of countries, a lot of states.
But just to pick a few people out, the Hostler/Todd family. Nick, like you said in your speech, I only met you 2 weeks ago. Feels like we've known each other for a while. And Jamie, I don't know where he is, I think he's looking after a baby, is exactly the same. And to go along with that, Helen Oliver, all of you have flown from the UK, so we very much thank you for that. A little bit closer to home, the rest of the girls from New Zealand. Thank you very much. Domestically, the prize goes to Shane Dean. Flown over from Perth. Guys, thank you so much. Shay, especially yesterday and the day before, really helping Kate out, so we really appreciate that. Dino, had a swim with you this morning, mate. I appreciated that. And to all our other friends, family who have travelled to be here, Melbourne, Sydney, New South Wales, North Coast. I might as well throw in Calbar as well. It's a big clan. And everywhere in between, everybody, thank you for being here and for staying with us this weekend. It's been a great day and gonna continue to be for the next few days. Special mention to our grandparents. We both feel so privileged that we can have you all here. Yeah, it just makes this day so much more special that we can have so many generations here. So thank you very much. Sorry, I just lost my spot.
Something about my blood finger, I think you're about.
I would like to thank just everybody who, for your kind words and gifts that you've left us. We will always treasure all your photos and the words that you've written. There are numerous other people that I could mention. Okay, Joe Faisal. I remember, a good sort of, you were given short notice, mate, probably about 3 weeks before. I remember I was told that Kate just came up to you and said, I need you to do this, and then a few other things.
And I don't care how it happens, just make it happen.
Long story short, there was part of a finger that was sacrificed over a long, arduous night. And mate, I appreciate the loss of that little bit of finger. It was good.
I missed Origin 3 though, so that was very upsetting.
Everybody else who and they know who they are, thank you who has helped just the last few days. It's been, everybody has said it, it's been one fantastic event that has pretty much all been planned by this one here, with a little bit of help from me as well. But a couple of extra people, again, the catering, food was awesome. I think you'll all agree. And to go with that bar staff, thank you very much. Rush bands, you are awesome. And thank you for what you've given us so far. Look forward to the next however many hours, boys and girls. Might as well talk about Jackie Derrick. Jackie, thank you.
Thanks, well.
I've known you for a little while now. I think every time I come into emergency at the Mater, I seem to walk into your office. You've been a great support, advice giver, and thank you for emceeing tonight. It's difficult, but I won't repeat that. But thank you very much. It's been really good. And to everybody here, you have all made an impact in some way, whether it's small or large, in both of our lives, and we couldn't have done it without any of you here. So thank you very much. Pete, Andrea, Skip, Fred, Captain even. So many names for one great man. But just quickly, I just want to thank you for being such a support for not only myself, but for Kate as well. Ever since I first met you both in West End that day, I knew I'd met two very unique people, but at the same time, I was silently crapping myself. That's a very, very, very vivid memory. I did find it very weird and hard to adjust to the fact that yes, I did share both my first and middle name with my girlfriend's father. But I've slowly come to terms with that. All the heckling has helped. You know, it's made me go.
Soul building.
What's that? But to both of you, I really enjoyed and feel very privileged to be part of your family. And I've always felt welcomed from day one. So I just want to thank you both. And Pat, Joe, thank you very much. I I'd just like to add a little bit from Pete's speech. Some proposal facts were correct. There were some that were left out. One notable correction I'd like to bring to the table was, yes, when I asked, yes, it may have been a little bit obvious. I tried it not to be obvious, but by the sound of it, it wasn't going to help. Thanks. But no, I do remember asking you, and the first words you did say was, "Thank you very much," and basically launched over the table at me with a handshake and a hug, even a kiss on the cheek, I think it was. So he didn't just sit back and try and sip his beer. It was not like that at all. To my mum and dad, this is going to be short and sweet. Don't even have the words to begin to say how thankful I am for everything that you've done for me, and the person that you've brought me up to be. I'm very thankful of that. Even though I still haven't learnt my lesson, Mum, as I'm still a person who leaves everything to the last minute. Even this speech, which I fell asleep trying to do last night. So a little bit light was left on, but yeah, so a little bit off the cuff. But I haven't learnt that lesson yet, Mum. I'll let you know when that happens. But I wouldn't be who I am without the constant input and support that you guys have had in my life, and I can't thank them. Quick mention to these three beautiful ladies here, how beautiful they do look today. I think as soon as meals came down the aisle, it started, and then it gradually increased to the point where I saw Kate and I had a very large lump in my throat. So, girls, I just want to say a massive thank you for being there for Kate when she's needed to be brought back to earth quite often, and for the continual constant support that you girls have had for her over the years that you've known her. We both love all three of you, and we can't wait for you to step with us into this next chapter of our lives. So, thank you. To my boys, quickly. Just fucking Andy, mate, we're being 3 months apart. We've done so much together. We've learnt so much together and caused both of our parents anger, angst and anxiety together. I feel thankful that we are still so close, mate, and so glad that you could be here today. Kurt, you've been one of my closest school friends, and it's so awesome that you're able to be here. It was touch and go. Even though both Kate and I are so excited about her arrival, we are thankful that I'm pretty sure it is daughter, isn't it? Yeah. Thankful that your daughter has decided to hold off, so that you both could make the trip up today. Amy's due in 5 days' time, officially. So I would just like to reiterate, and I won't hopefully not bring anything on, but this is probably the safest place to deliver a baby. There is at least one doctor, fair few paramedics, and nurses, neurologists. Whew. Alright, quiet down. It's not actually going to happen. Yeah. Don't talk about it. Lastly, Nath, Thanks very much for your kind words, mate. I think I've scraped through the two speeches that I thought I was going to cop it. I've scraped through it pretty good. Being my only brother, I feel privileged that you are part of my life, mate, and you have been a constant source of laughter and at times regular annoyance for me over your last 25 years. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks so much for your support and keeping me somewhat chilled out last night and the days before. Love you, mate. So thanks very much. So this is a very special message for someone from the both of us, and she knows who she is, so I'm just going to go out and say it. Mia carissima Giulia, moglie numero 2, se ci fosse un modo che potresti essere qui vicino a me, l'avrei fatto, ma questo è illegale.
Hold on.
Ti vogliamo molto bene e siamo così fortunati di averti nella nostra vita. I apologize for the poor pronunciation. Kajal.
Grazie mille, voglio dire che spero che non sia illegale, anche io vorrei essere.
I'm sure you're going to tell me exactly what you said later on.
Do you want me to say it in English?
Yeah, we'll say what we said in English first.
Yeah, you listen to what.
My darling Julia, wife number 2. If I could have you standing beside me today, I would, but that would be illegal. We love you so much and are so glad that you're part of our lives.
So there's going to be a little bit of confusion in the room about all of that. You can ask us later, but long story short, the three of us have done a lot together and eventually got to the stage where there was... I can see where all your minds are. Come on. Yeah. That's quite inappropriate, I think, for this setting. Just saying. But, yeah, the three of us pretty much, yeah, wife 1, wife 2, and that's the way it's going. Do you want to come up and say what you said? No. Okay. You don't have to, it's all good.
I just say, I wish it wasn't illegal, and then the rest of the part I'll share with you guys.
Too many beers, Joe Faisal. Quiet down, mate. Alright. Most important part of this speech is to my darling wife. How cool does that sound? I was meant to calculate this properly, but I believe it is 4 years, 10 months, and however many weeks. I don't know. Since I actually popped up on your radar, finally. And yes, as you mentioned, it was one of my intoxicated friends who declared my undying love to her. But even it's been even longer than that since I first admired you from afar in Mater Emergency. Now, up. Mine's out of the gutter. People, come on. At that point, I never thought I would even have a chance with this girl, let alone being able to call you my wife. I want to thank you for all your hard work in making today, our dream day, so special and perfect. I'm sure everyone will agree that you have done an awesome job in organising today, repeating it, obviously, and thank you for only giving me a few blue jobs to do. You have taught me so much. You continue to teach me things about myself, but you have most of all taught me to love unconditionally and also what it feels like to be loved in return. You've unknowingly, however, taught me to be very patient, however confident, and what it means to just have fun. I cannot tell you enough how beautiful and radiant you look today, and how excited I am to step into the rest of our lives together. I love you.
Stop it.
I love you so much. You can always will, and yeah, there's not much more I can say.
Yo!
Chris, special mention, mate. I think you're the one that started that. It's going to continue. That's
Made it
alright.
all the way to the wedding.
It did. And as long as Andrew doesn't ask me how my weapon is, I think she's finally got it right after this a little while now. But yeah. And back over to Jackie.
Ladies and gents, Mr. and Mrs. Peter Harry.